Hi, my name is Emma Bjorgum, and I serve as Director of Client Development for Aldevron's GMP Nucleic Acids business unit. When I work with clients, one of their most common questions is how to evaluate the quality systems of their contract development and manufacturing organization partners, such as Aldevron, and how to verify that these systems comply with the global regulatory body's prescribed guidance, especially since the landscape surrounding regulatory guidance is constantly changing as the cell and gene therapy industry evolves. Luckily, I'm fortunate to be joined today by Ken Bonnell, our Senior Vice President of Quality and Regulatory Affairs. So Ken, if I'm sitting from where our clients do, I would love to learn more about how to evaluate manufacturing partners, what to look for, and what is important. What advice do you have for newcomers, both companies and individuals, to cell and gene therapy?
My advice would be that, certainly I've had the advantage of working in medical device manufacturing, biotechnology, and pharmaceuticals. And I can tell you that they are different. So even to medical device manufacturing and pharmaceuticals, they're more closely related than I think biotechnology. And the reason I say that is because I think the agency is actually learning how to regulate this as we kind of go along, right? Because there's new developments every day in biotechnology. Whereas you think about a pharmaceutical company, there's hundreds and thousands of drugs on the market already. Even when you get approval for a drug, there's really not a major modification of the molecular structure. But when you talk about biotechnology, it's a little bit of art and a little bit of science, right? So I think that not just the FDA, but all agencies are kind of learning what's important, what's not important, what to regulate, what not to regulate, when to be very prescriptive and when to back off a little bit. So my advice is to understand that first, that it is different. And second is to understand that this is a changing environment you have to keep up on, really what direction the industry is going.
What areas of a quality system are most critical or key to evaluate?
I've been on both sides of the table, so I actually do have the foresight to understand what they're going to be looking for because I've looked for the same thing, right? So the very first thing that they're going to ask for, and for customers, I think, as well as any regulatory authority, they're going to ask for deviations and investigations and things like that. Because I once actually had an FDA auditor tell me this directly, and he said that, look, you have many problems out on the floor that you actually haven't discovered yet. Every organization does. But a deviation, an investigation, is something that you already know about. So the way you handle it is reflective of your culture. It's reflective of your understanding of quality. And it's not just the investigation. I mean, obviously, when you do an investigation, you want to make sure you identify the root cause and you install good corrective and preventative actions. So after you install those CAPAs, those corrective and preventative actions, you want to make sure they're effective. And the way you make sure they're effective is that you don't see those problems reoccur. So, again, if I'm sitting on the other side of the table, I'd want to see the number of investigations. I'd want to read a few of them, and I want to understand your ratio in terms of, reoccurrence.
What should a quality inspector look for?
I would look at their quality systems in terms of their infrastructure, right? So I'd want to make sure that they have SOPs to support all the critical activities. The second thing I would do is I would be talking or interacting with some of their personnel because you actually get more information from interacting with their personnel than almost anything. So, if you ask them questions about their process, and obviously I already read the SOPs, as I said, because that's the very first thing you should be looking for, that they understand what their SOPs say. If they don't, then you have them printed out. They're following them step by step. If they don't, they know where to go to. And the third thing is obviously tour the facility. If the facility's not well maintained or not orderly, again, that's reflective of the quality culture.
What should a client look for when auditing a vendor?
In my mind, it's simple, three things: people, process, and procedures. For Aldevron, I think that we have all three. This is why that I would think that customers would select us as a partner because we are in it with them. This is a journey that we take together. We believe in true partnerships, from not just a quality perspective, from operations and customer relations, from every perspective.
Thank you, Ken, for joining me today. This was helpful advice, and I hope you have a great week, and thanks everyone for listening.